Why do you need that? Why do you need Nazi-approved school material? Why is there a neo-Nazi podcast called Action America? So there's an article that was sent to me recently about going inside a United States neo-Nazi homeschool network that has a lot of members in it. And I want to go ahead and read through this with y'all because this shit sounds absolutely wild. So, I mean, if we wanted to talk about the rise of the far right in America, this is a way to talk about it. So let's go ahead and do that, I guess. But first, let's get into the fan art section. The first one we have here is from Sylvia Silica, and this is the third part of the Duality of Suris, where they said this is the almighty... I guess you guys got a free one there. The next one we have here is from Aston. It said, found a new brush, so slime Necosuris. You guys just... You find new toys and you're just like, use it on Suris. It'd be fine. It'd be fine. Just use it on Suris. I like it. As always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that all said, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so, and please hit the bell notification icon. With that said, let's go ahead and get right into... Stop! 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 I do not trust you. I do not trust you. Fucking hell. Ivana, thank you for redeeming your points for an Ahara. You fucking degen. Anyway, let's get into the topic at hand. Here, let's go and read the thing. Far away from all of you. Mikachu, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. Earlier this month, while the rest of the country was celebrating the achievements of civil rights leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., parents and children in the Dissident Homeschool Network opened a lesson plan and was greeted with these three words. As Adolf Hitler wrote. The contents of the MLK lesson plan would be shocking for almost anyone, but for members of the 2,400-member Dissident Homeschool Telegram channel, this is a regular Monday at school. It's up to us to ensure our children know him for the deceitful, dishonest, riot-inducing black person he actually was, the administrator of the network's Telegram channel wrote, alongside a downloadable lesson plan for elementary school children. He is the face of a movement which ethnically cleansed whites out of urban areas and precipitated the anti-white regime that we are now fighting to free ourselves of. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Since the group began in October 2021, it has openly embraced Nazi ideology and promoted white supremacy, while proudly discouraging parents from letting their children who are white play or have any contact with people who are of any other race. Admins and members use racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic slurs without shame and quote Hitler and other Nazi leaders daily in a channel open to the public. Vice News joined the group simply by clicking on a link through a list of the members was not publicly visible. What's even more disturbing, however, is that the couple who run the channel are not only teaching parents how to indoctrinate their children into the fascist ideology, they're also encouraging them to meet up in real life and join even more radical groups, which could further reinforce their beliefs and potentially push them toward violent action. The Dissident Homeschool Network is ran by a husband and wife team who use the aliases Mr. and Mrs. Saxon. Oh, you mean like Anglo-Saxon? Oh, wow, that's so subtle. That's so subtle. This week, the anti-fascist research group Anonymous Comrades Collective published a detailed report that unmasked the Saxons as Logan and Kat Jo Lawrence, who live in Upper Sandusky, Ohio, with their 4 young children. Why do Nazis have kids? I'm sorry, Gigi. I'm sorry, Gigi. Is it an auditory horror for my autism? Yeah, it's just Hitler youthed again. The researchers were able to identify the Lawrences through biographical details they shared in the Telegram channel's group chat and on podcast appearances. One of the key clues to identifying them came with the reveal that they owned a German Shepherd called Blondie, the same name as Hitler's dog. Are these people just cartoon villains? How do you get to this point? How do you actively act like actual fucking cartoon villains? That's what this is. That's what this is. Like, you make jokes about people like this. You make jokes of like, oh, they just happen to be Nazis, so they do all these Nazi things and blah, blah, blah. And it's funny for a little bit, and then we pretend that those people don't exist, and we just kind of go on with our days. But then when you see people like this where they're actually going through and doing all of the Nazi things, all of them, I have to ask myself, at what point does the parody stop and the actual just reality begin? Because I feel like this is the stuff that's supposed to be part of parody. This is the stuff that's I'm supposed to laugh at, funny haha, that isn't real. And yet, obviously it is. Obviously these people are real. This should be a dumb joke. Dark Excalibur, thank you for the follow. This should be a dumb joke, but apparently it's not. The researchers found photos that Katja posted on Facebook with her German Shepherd, and were able to confirm that Katja Lawrence's ownership of the dog was through the Wyandotte County dog licensing website's dog search feature. The Lawrences did not respond to multiple emails, text messages, or social media messages, and phone calls from Vice News to discuss the contents of the report and their neo-Nazi homeschooling group. Katja Lawrence, who is in her mid-30s, launched the channel in October 2021 because she was having a rough time finding Nazi-approved school material for her homeschool children. Why do you need that? Why do you need Nazi-approved school material? Why is there a neo-Nazi podcast called Action America? Why? Why is that a thing? I like how there's the refrain of everything I don't like is a Nazi, but then when I see shit like this, I'm like, actually, no. Actual fucking Nazis are a thing, and it's agitating that they still are. We didn't kill all the Nazis in World War II. We killed that generation of Nazis, and even then, we didn't kill all of them. Later in the same podcast episode, Lawrence expanded on her view on why she wanted to educate her children at home. She said, "We have our children's best interests at heart." No, you don't. "And nobody can do a better job than we can." Yes, they can. "Because it's our child. And that was God's mistake. We are so deeply invested into making sure the child becomes a wonderful Nazi." I want to go find a cliff, preferably one of those little short cliffs from Pokemon, you know, the ones that you jump off of. And I mean, you can really just, you know for a fact you could get back up them, but the game suddenly just, you know, pretends that that's a really big cliff. I want to find that. I want to hop off and never go back to whatever the fuck this is. When Vice News asked for comment on the Lawrences and their channel, the host of the podcast, Gordon Call, replied, "I think you should kill yourself instead." Oh my God. Dissident Homeschool Channel says 1,000 subscribers. This is just stellar. Mr. Saxon and I would like to thank you all for following my channel and for engaging with us in the chat group. It fills my heart with joy to know there is such a strong base of homeschoolers and homeschool-interested National Socialists. Hail victory. I still hate that Nazi stands for National Socialists, when the fucking Night of Long Knives was literally when they got rid of most of the leftists in their party. Barely anything socialistic about that ideology, and yet fucking Katja Lawrence, born Katja van den Berg, is originally from the Netherlands and moved to the United States after meeting her husband at the Oktoberfest festival in Berlin. According to an old LiveJournal blog uncovered by the researchers, she became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 2017. Logan Lawrence works as an agent for a local family-run insurance agency. When reached by phone, an employee at the company told Vice News that they would not be commenting on the story. Fucking cowards. Logan is also a member of the local Masonic Lodge and features in a number of pictures on its website, where he is listed as an officer of the lodge. The security of the lodge did not respond to Vice's news request for comment. Both Katja and Logan have a limited presence on mainstream social media platforms, and the one Facebook account that was operated by Katja was deleted this week after Anonymous Comrades Collective's report was published. Katja Lawrence is the main poster on the Dissident Homeschool channel, posting classroom schedules, book lists, lessons plans, and other educational resources for like-minded parents. The Crow is home, and this group makes me go, what the Crow, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a huge favor? Can you tell your dogs that Nazis are bad, and your cat, and any partners that might be there? I don't care who's there. Please tell them that Nazis are bad, because apparently America can't figure that the fuck out, and I don't know how. I don't know how we got to this point. Lawrence uses every lesson plan as an opportunity to push racist ideology. In one math assignment, children were asked to interpret crime statistics, the goal of which was to realize the demographics to be cautious around. Another lesson called the IQ Unit Study discusses IQ scores. The blacks on average have a much lower IQ than whites, Lawrence wrote. Why? What? Why? We've got the bell curve and we've got the 1350 meme all at once, and I do not like. Last week, the group chat channel belonging to the Dissident Homeschool Network was shut down, but Vice News has reviewed an archive of the chats dating back to October 2021, showing that initially the channel was populated by a small number of core members who contributed most of the comments and content. Hey, look, there's the Queen's Blade advertisement, because I'm never getting away from laundry porn, I guess. However, by the time the chat archive ended on January 4th, there were hundreds more people contributing to the conversations, and discussions had expanded from children's education to the dangers of diversity and how Indiana Jones movies are nothing more than Jewish revenge porn. I have never heard Indiana Jones movies called Jewish revenge porn. What the fuck? I guess it's just because Indiana Jones punches Nazis, I guess. Said, can I have a link sending it to my sister? By all means, Axo. Here, have fun. One parent posting in the group last year thanked the Lawrences for their work and explained why they agreed that public school education was not for them. I don't even want my kids exposed to the gay-loving, anti-family Jew factory that is public school. I can't stand it. Why? Why? Who made this? Who makes this? Why are they a thing? Why is this real? This is why I want to make the switch. I don't even want my kids to the fucking... Other parents offered their own educational resources, with one member writing, "Here's an overview of the 10 reasons why Hitler was one of the good guys." The best thing Hitler did was kill himself. When one parent named Nancy recommended 3 preachers that the group might find interesting, another member responded, an N-word, a race mixer, and a guy who literally said that Israel should rule the world. You're 0 for 3. Katja Lawrence then added, "Nancy, did you know you are in a chat of dissidents who fully support white nationalism? We do not support Israel and do not listen to black preachers." Fucking hell. Nancy, you're not racist enough for us. The members of the channel also have expanded beyond the US to include members of other countries, though only those from European countries with acceptable ethnicity such as Norway, Germany, and the UK are welcomed. At one point in the chat, Katja Lawrence told a UK-based member of the group that she would help put him in touch with the head of one of the biggest white nationalist groups in the United Kingdom, suggesting the Lawrences have made connections with anti-Semites and white supremacists outside of their own homeschooling community. Baking a Fuhrer cake? God, when Yara sees this episode, they're gonna be fucking pissed. When the Telegram channel reached its 1,000th subscriber just months after it launched, Katja Lawrence posted a picture of German school children performing the Nazi salute in a classroom, writing, "It fills my heart with joy to know that there's such a strong base of homeschoolers and homeschool-interested Nazis. Hail victory." The Lawrences also described how their family celebrated Hitler's birthday by breaking a Führer cake. We had a lovely dinner followed by Führerkuchen, Katja Lawrence wrote. Our children celebrated Adolf's birthday today by learning about Germany and eating favorite German foods. She later added that she had baked quite a few swastika items. My latest was a swastika apple pie. In one chilling, now deleted post on Telegram, Katja Lawrence posted an audio message of her children shouting Sig Heil. While Katja and Logan Lawrence claim in Telegram comments that they want to warn children not to discuss their Nazi views with those outside the family, they also didn't limit their activities to the online world and help others to connect with fellow white nationalists in the real world. Fucking, a lot of stuff's probably going to need to be bleeped. We'll see. And here they say that the left is indoctrinating kids, but shit like this exists and is being used. Yeah? Are you sure this is not, a dot onion? No, Axel Ignite. This is not a dot onion. This is a real Telegram group. Katja wrote that there's a huge network of people like us. She wrote on the Telegram channel, if you are asking what you can do, get vetted and join a local pool party. I would say that's the best decision Mr. Saxon and I made last year. We joined a pool party with our children now and play with other white children where they can speak and play freely. A pool party is the name for a secretive meetup organized by white supremacist group The Right Stuff and its political wing, the National Justice Party. Katja Lawrence even goes so far as to share the direct email for a contact at The Right Stuff who deals with vetting, while an account named the National Justice Party posts updates that includes calls for dissident homeschool members to join its supporter group and updates on their Christmas charity drive. Katja writes that it's been a huge for us to get into that real-life network, contribute by joining. It makes all the difference. It's hard to gauge the influence of the dissident homeschool network, but in leaked emails from people attempting to join the white nationalist group Patriot Front, applicants list the dissident homeschool as being influential figures, media outlets, or platforms. So I will say the easiest way possible you can become armed? I will say in the easiest way possible if you can become armed. Yeah, fair. Stoff says, why are so many right-wing meetup sites called The Right Stuff? I thought it was a dating site. It was a dating site as well. It's funny and annoying how many of these are like, hey, wouldn't you like to date a far-right, sig-heiling Nazi? Don't worry, you can't fix her. Oh my god, I'm saying those who can properly use them and get guns. Yeah, no, this is why people need to have self-defense guns. I'm sorry. Katja attempts to describe these groups' activities as entirely wholesome. To dispel some misconceptions, these groups do not encourage or solicit people to commit illegal activities. It is a nice group of wholesome white people getting together for cookouts and such. They're just discussing how much they hate black people and Jews, that's all. Don't worry, everybody. They're perfectly wholesome. They just thought genocide was really cool and all. They don't want to commit one. They just want to talk about how great it was. They don't want to commit violence. They just want to talk about how great the violence was. They don't want to, commit bad. They just want to talk about how bad good. That's all. That's all it is. Isn't it? Isn't it great? Isn't it fantastic? Guys, why do we still have Nazis? Why do we still have Nazis? What is the appeal? What is the appeal of that ideology? I don't understand. What is the appeal of Nazi ideology? What do you gain from Nazi ideology? I understand that people could say the same thing about socialism, but I can actually explain the appeals of socialism. It's very, very easy. I want a world where workers own the means of production. What that means is I want a world where workers have more control over the thing that, makes them live and survive. I think that is a good thing, actually. I think a lot of industries are better when the workers own it and not random people who are funding it and random fucking hedge fund babies. Whereas with Nazism, when you try to argue for the merits of it, it's like, okay, cool, so eugenics, but we know eugenics is a bunk pseudoscience. Okay, racism, but we know that the bell curve is bunk pseudoscience. We know that the 1350 statistic is based entirely on a self-fulfilling prophecy of what happens when you fucking redline districts. We know that Nazism is based on a handful or a bucketful of fucking lies. So what is the appeal? And yeah, no organization is going to literally publicly come out and be like, aha, we are pro the violence. We are pro the bad things happening to people. That we are okay with that. That's a thing that we like. No, that would be absolutely stupid to do. But that's a thing that at least some organizations have done. I mean, the Proud Boys have tried to do that. This is people want to feel special. I know. And in the bottom of my heart, I understand. I get it. I understand that the appeal of stuff like this is that you feel like you're part of an in-group, or you feel like it's not as bad as other people think. Other people have been freaking out about a thing, and you don't think it's as bad as what other people are saying. I had a best friend of mine that found themselves in an actual Nazi group and did not understand that when the leaders of the group were saying that Aryan children needed to be protected and propagated, that it was literally Nazi speak. They didn't get that. So I can understand from the perspective of somebody who may not know very well, but in situations like this, like they're literally saying Sig Heil, Heil Hitler. Like how does it not occur to you the Nazis were the bad guys? How do I have to explain to you that genocides are bad, actually, and you probably shouldn't be celebrating them? How do I do that? How do I explain to you that white genocide is not a thing? I don't. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and I'm tired. Insert end of video tagline here.